Hey, what is up YouTube, and welcome back to episode 7 of the Let's Play Satisfactory. So I've done a bit of work in between the episode. To begin with, I've upgraded the power station by basically doubling its size, which means that we can now technically produce up to 600 megawatts of power. That is, if we can supply the coal to power it, of course. And I've also set up a tractor at the second truck stop to bring in some raw iron from a nearby iron patch directly into the base over there. So the objective for today's episode is to unlock every available milestone in the hub and also start unlocking the next tier of upgrade in the space elevator. Okay then, so to begin with, we have to start producing some steel, and as you can see, I've laid down a few foundries over here. I still need to connect everything up, but then once we are producing the steel, we'll be able to start manufacturing the next components in order to unlock the upgrades. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my steel setup, and I'll get back to you guys once it's done. Okay then, so this didn't take much time at all to set up. We are using the same design that we did before with the foundries over there. This is where we produce the steel beams, and this is where we produce the steel pipes, which means that we now have the 3 components needed to unlock the first milestone in the hub. So let's go ahead and unlock it. Okay then, so let's get this researched, put the components in the machine, and let's launch the pod.
Milestone reached. Logistics can be improved with a larger storage container and enhanced conveyor belt efficiency.
Conveyor belt Mark III are made out of steel. Okay, this, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and set up some of those right away. Okay then, so now that we have access to the Mark III conveyor belts, I've gone ahead and upgraded the entire iron smelting array that we have here at the beginning of the base with the Mark III conveyor. And now we are having a much higher throughput of iron going into the other factories here in the belts, producing the iron plates and the iron rods. And I've also started tapping into the nodes back there to feed more iron into the base. And here we go with unlocking the second milestone for today.
Milestone reached. Logistics can be improved with a larger storage container, enhanced conveyor belt efficiency, as well as the ability to store excess power for later use. An additional project part can now be constructed. Further progress to the next phase is now possible.
Okay then, and let's have a look here at the upgrades again. So we are producing those 2 components, but we haven't started manufacturing these encased industrial beams just yet. So let's have a look here. So it's concrete and some steel pipes. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let me go ahead and set up a factory for this as well, and then we will be able to unlock this too. Okay then, and here we are back again at the end of the base. This is where we have our steel production set up, and I've added an additional factory here to produce the encased industrial beams. So the encased industrial beams are made out of concrete and steel beams, and so I'm just tapping, we have a limestone node right here, and so I'm just bringing the resources from here up here through an elevator up to the 2nd floor, and then we are inputting this into this factory. Alright then, and now that we have access to the encased industrial beams, we can go ahead and unlock the next tier in the hub.
Milestone reached. Fixit Incorporated has processed and incorporated frequent Pioneer requests for pipe-based personal transport. Introducing hypertubes. Safe, aesthetic, adaptable, fun. Enjoy a view of your hard work as you soar through incredibly tight turns. Build them today. Note: Fixit Incorporated is not responsible for any harm caused by irresponsible use of this product.
Alright, let's have some fun. Alright guys, so the hypertubes are really cool. So here's how they work. So first of all, you place down an entrance like so, then you connect your tube to wherever you want your hypertube to lead you to. Then you have to connect it to a power source just like so. So let's connect this up. And now you can just hop into it and you will be transported through the tube. Really cool. So the tube by default goes only in one direction, but if you place an entrance at the end of the tube like so, then you can use the tube in both directions. Oh, and you have to connect it also to a power source. Let's go ahead and connect this, and here we go. Pretty cool stuff. So here I've set up a line here to get me from one end to the other end of my base, which is really cool, and it's also quite fast. It's amazing. Let's keep going, and this even goes back here to the power factory. You. Okay then, and another thing that you can do, which is also pretty cool, is you can make these hypertube cannons by just putting a bunch of hypertube entrances right after each other, and that way when you enter one, you get boosted through the other one and you keep on the momentum and it stacks up, right? And then you get pushed up really fast. Let's go ahead and use them. Let's hop into this. Woohoo! Pretty cool. Oh yeah, but you have to be careful not to take too much damage. You can definitely kill yourself using the hypertubes. Alright guys, so I was looking at the recipes to make the versatile framework and the automated wiring. However, we are starting to have some power issues now. Let's have a look here. So we are now consuming about 700 megawatts and my power station can only supply 600 megawatts. So I had to add a lot of burner here, the biofuel burner, to help sustain the base, but we are just not producing enough power at the moment. So what I need to do is find another lake to set up another additional power station and also connect it to a coal source. So let me go ahead and do that and I'll get back to you once it's done. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed watching the time-lapse of me building the new power station. The station itself is located back there in the crater. I was pretty impressed when I came across that site because it looks amazing, right? There's this huge crater with water at the bottom of it and a large forest right next to it. There were a lot of monsters, a lot of aliens I had to fight off, but in the end, yeah, it's a pretty cool site. And there was the coal node right next to it, so that made everything easier for me to set up. The only thing that was a bit annoying to do was set up the hypertube to get there, but it's totally worth it because it's so much faster to use them for transport, right? Okay, and moving on, I've set up all the factories necessary to produce the components for the space elevator upgrade. And so those are, first of all, we have this factory over there that's producing the stator or stator, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's those guys right here. And then these are being then piped right into this factory over here. And this is for the next components, which are the automated wiring. Then I'm transporting everything here via this belt and down there into the space elevator. And then we have this factory over here that is producing the versatile framework. It's a bit slow at the moment because we are having issues with the steel here. It's not really keeping up, but the factories are working full time. I even had to upgrade the coal miner back there so that we would bring in more coal into the base, but we still have a small issue with that. We don't have enough coal at the moment. But anyways, the factories are set up and we are now producing the components that are being fed into the space elevator. Now it's a bit slow, so I'm waiting for everything to finish up so that we can unlock the next update, the next upgrade. And then moving down here, oh, sorry about that, it doesn't really matter. It's a bit of a hazard to move around my base. Actually, I keep taking damage from falling off stuff because it's a bit high, and the jump pad, so the annoying thing is that the jump pad launches you way too high and you cannot reduce the height at which it's they launch you, but then when you fall down you take full damage, so it's a bit frustrating to move around this base. But yeah, anyway, so here is the last machine that is producing the smart platings, which are then being piped into the space elevator. So let's have a look here and see how far along we are. Yeah, this is going to take forever to finish up. Now, whilst I was waiting for the components for the space elevator upgrade to finish building, I decided to go around and do some exploring around my world. And the first thing I came across was another crashed spaceship, and luckily for me I only needed some screws to unlock it, and that gave me another hard drive to examine in the MAM. And then right behind the crashed ship I came across a new type of enemy. It was some kind of fire-spitting alien, but a much bigger version. And this guy was shooting fireballs at a very fast rate, but I did manage to take him out and got a few alien organs out of it. And then whilst I was heading back, I also decided to go back to the other crashed ship that I found a bit earlier on in the game, but this guy required some power to open up, so I did set up a power line to go straight to the ship, and I managed to get another hard drive out of it. Now with the two hard drive, I put them in the MAM to research and unlock new recipes, and from the first hard drive I got access to either a new recipe to craft screws out of steel, or there was a new recipe for coal and another one for copper. Now coal, it seems to be that you just produce a lot more coal by mixing coal with sulfur, but we don't have access to sulfur just now. We don't have any sulfur outpost set up, and I don't know, it didn't seem very interesting at the time, so I just left that one be. And then we also had one for copper, but copper, we have access to many copper nodes close to my base, and we don't need that much copper at the moment, so I decided to go with the screw, the new screw blueprint. Now with the second hard drive the choice was much harder for me to make, because if you have a look here at the options available to us, the first one I didn't care about at all because it's just charcoal made out of biomass, and since you have to gather biomass by hand, I wasn't interested in that one. But then regarding the two other options, we already have a recipe for reinforced iron plates, but we use a lot of them, so that one looked kind of interesting to me. And then with the iron ingots, this allows us to make more ingots, but we have to use copper in the process as well. And I choose the reinforced iron plates because if we were to use the iron ingots recipe, the one to the right, that means that we would have to then start manufacturing iron ingots in a foundry instead of a smelter. And the foundries, because they require two inputs, are much harder to set up. And so I just ignored that recipe for now, and I just picked the one in the middle, so the one for the reinforced iron plates. Alright guys, so all the components are now in the space elevator, so let's go ahead and send this away. And let's go back to the hub now and have a look at all the new milestones that we have unlocked. Okay then, so let's have a look here. Oil processing, industrial manufacturing, fluid transport, gas masks, new power generators, jetpacks, new trains and pipelines. So yeah, a lot of new and interesting stuff that I'm eager to play around with. However, unfortunately, this is all the time I've got for you today. If you have any comments or tips regarding this episode, please let me know in the comment section. And in any case, I'll see you soon in the next episode. Bye bye.